They're just there. They just exist. It's like putting makeup on an ugly-ass pig.
You're about to listen to an ass whooping on WHPC.
He had the wrong feed number, that's for sure. He's out there throwing pigs, scrambling and sad.
He's been waiting all week for this.
Eric, I want to let you know, if you come over here, me and Franz are not going to stop you from getting to this man, even as nice as he's dressed.
It's a three-piece, all right? Take a piece.
It could be like talk, but just no action. That's the thing.
A lot of people are like that.
Talk. You talk too much, you worry me to death.
I've been a Knicks fan for 25 years, all right? Since I came out the damn womb, all right?
Bing bong. Let's go, Knicks.
He has a bitch name, a bitch haircut. He's been playing like a bitch all season, and he's a bitch. So.
This is WHPC Sports Talk.
You know, today might just be the day, Josh. I just might bing bong myself off Shea Bridge, and we're not even at opening day yet.
You know what, Braden? Usually I tell you don't jump, but I think today is I'm not saying it's ever appropriate to
No, it's
jump.
justifiable. It's justified. It's like, this is worse than all the burgers that RJ could lay would not match what happened last night.
No, not even close.
Not even close. Welcome back to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Thursday edition is again short-staffed. Host for today, Braden D'Aniello, joined by Josh Umahi. Antonio Gonzalez will be with us shortly. Phone number to call is 516-572-7440. I don't know if I've ever been... I don't want to say... 2015 might take the cake. But other than that, I don't know if I've ever been more depressed as a Mets fan than I was last night. Josh, how did you find out about the news? Because I'm sure everyone has a story to this about how they found out. I mean,
well, first
I assume
off,
Twitter.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And just to set the scene, it was an amazing kind of, scene against the Dominican Republic and the Puerto Rico, the baseball teams.
Yeah.
Really great theater. Obviously, Edwin Diaz is a big part of that for the Puerto Rican team. And it's crazy because it really is a case of just... And now I understand why some people that are fans of certain teams, like you are a Rangers, Mets, and Jets fan. I am a Knicks, Mets, and Saints fan. So there's plenty of heartbreak between us, but it don't get any worse than even before the regular season starts for your favorite baseball team. Seeing the most electrifying... Well, obviously the best closer in the game.
Yeah.
Maybe the most electrifying player in the game. Because consider this. Who comes in last season to the damn trumpets, the Narco song, and then just throws 103 miles per hour consistently and gasses people away and sends them home packing and seals Mets wins? No one. This guy might be the most electrifying player in the sport, and that's saying something. So the fact that now he's done for the season with a patella tendon injury, I believe it was.
Yep.
It's heart-wrenching. It's absolutely heart-wrenching. And for Mets fans and anybody that wants to go, and I usually push back against the LOL Mets people, like, what can go wrong will go wrong with the New York Mets. No matter how you feel about how it happened or where it took place, the feeling among Mets fans today is, well, obviously you feel bad for Edwin Diaz.
Obviously.
And that's a real tough thing. And you saw his brother crying right next to him when the injury happened. So it wasn't a good scene. And obviously you hope the best for him and that he can make it on the field and that he's like mentally strong to get through this. But
yeah,
the other prevailing thought among Mets fans today is probably, why us? Why us? Why this had to happen to us?
It doesn't surprise me. Listen, this is, you know how I used the term last season, only the Mets, and I don't want to be that guy, but like, who else? Who else would this happen to? And I know what you're saying. All right, Kendrys Morales. Okay, great. I'm not dissing Morales. He's a good player. Is he still in baseball? I don't think he is.
He might be in some way, but he's definitely not playing.
Definitely not playing. So I get the whole Kendrys Morales deal because I've heard people talk about that. Don't you dare compare the Kendrys Morales situation to this, please, because I can't do it.
Well, I'm curious as to why you say that.
Well, you see, because there's a big difference. I know Kendrys Morales was a good power hitter for when he was in the MLB. I don't think the impact he had on the team was as great as Edwin Diaz had last season. That's just my opinion. But this is also now, the Mets invested a lot of money into this bullpen, especially over the offseason between re-signing Diaz, which it's funny, I didn't tweet this out, but I texted one of my friends, like, it's Cespedes all over again. And I know that at least Diaz got hurt from something that was actually on the field. It was not just as stupid, but it's different than what was it? The boar on his ranch or something with Cespedes, something like that.
Something stupid like that.
It was something along those lines. I can't get the truth. We're probably still looking for Ioannis, not showing up to the ballpark. But just in the manner that it happens, because he comes out, he strikes out the side, Twitter's blowing up. And then, I'm not even paying attention. I haven't been following the World Baseball Classic. I really haven't, I'll be honest. And I remember, if I remember it right, the game ended at about, I want to say, probably 10:45, 10:30, around that time.
About, yeah.
And I had just gotten out of the shower, and my phone starts to absolutely erupt. And I'm wondering, okay, what the hell is going on? I look at all the group chats, and it's all Met fans. Diaz went down. I'm like, okay, well, how bad does it look? He's like, he's being wheeled off in a wheelchair. I'm like, oh, great, this can't be. Then I watched the replay, and it's like, they don't even show. I can't even see what actually happened because it's just a pileup of 10 players just around the pitcher's mound. But I don't know. Listen, you're not, and for all the people, you mentioned it, Josh, maybe swing a trade. It's impossible to replace someone like Diaz.
Right.
It's good that at least you have Ottavino back. I assume David Robertson now will assume the closer role.
Well, yeah, the good thing about this from a baseball team standpoint, a New York Mets standpoint, is that we all talked about the one great thing they did. Now, many Mets fans like myself say they still need to get more offense, even before this. But the one good thing you can say about their offseason is that they addressed the pitching depth.
Yeah. In
the rotation and in the bullpen. Because now you have guys like David Robertson, who's closed before, Adam Ottavino, who's closed before. If you get Zach Britton, maybe, sign him in free agency, he's on the block right now.
I would definitely look to.
That's a guy who's closed before. So you have all that being said, there's a lot of depth in that bullpen. But, like you said, you can't replace, in my opinion, like I said, the most electrifying player in the sport.
Best closer in baseball.
What a day to be a Mets fan, huh?
Welcome to the show, Antonio. How are you?
Everybody. I'm pretty sad, I'm just honestly, again, disappointed but not surprised. We are the Mets. This is what we deserve. Why?
What we deserve? What?
The Mets always it's every year.
What do you mean we deserve? We suffered for almost 3 decades.
I guess we haven't suffered enough. From what?
Well, clearly not. But it doesn't mean we deserve it.
It must be something because, how? How? Every time. And listen, I'm tired of everybody being upset that he was celebrating for his W that meant nothing.
He really didn't celebrate, Antonio. The team mobbed him. They jumped him. I want the names of everyone that was in that pile now.
Oh, stop.
But the thing about it is that everyone dissing the World Baseball Championship, that's what we call it, right? That's what it stands for?
World Baseball Classic.
World Baseball Classic is that... this means everything to him, you know what I mean? Plus, it's I would think pretty big rivalry if it's between DR and Puerto Rico. That sounds like...
Well, it was also a huge upset, apparently.
There we go.
I haven't been following it, but Dominican Republic supposedly has a very good team.
Their lineup was supposed to have played a lot better.
But I'm just tired of people saying that, it was over nothing, and this game meant nothing, and this stuff, because, I don't know, to him, I bet it meant everything. He's very Puerto Rican. You'd look at his Instagram, he'll be celebrating over there. He'd be, representing Puerto Rico a lot. So I'm really sad about this, but at the same time, I'm just tired of people being upset that it was over a nothing game. But again, there's a set contract thing to do now in terms of contracts and what you do in terms of, because you see the NFL players on a jet ski do all these crazy things on their contracts that they're going to be signed to these long-term deals. So I wonder how they're going to go about it with baseball.
I don't know. Diaz is coming off. Obviously, I think it's safe to say his best season, unless you would rule out that season where he had 50 or 60 something saves with Seattle at the very end.
Was his.
Yeah, it had to be. That was the only. That's the only season I think that could contend with it, and it still might be a while. Yeah, well, what's his contract, by the way, Josh? Do we have that up by chance?
I'll pull it up. I believe it. Well, it's obviously a big.
He
contract.
Got paid.
Yeah, he got the bag.
Yeah,
he got the bag.
He's came off a season where he had 32 saves, struck out 118 batters. ERA of 1.31, and he did it all over 62 innings pitched. So
5 years, $102 million, $102 million, 5 years.
What did we do? What did we do to piss off God?
The baseball gods do not like the Mets. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. Maybe it's because we rhyme with the Jets. I have no idea. Yeah.
You don't run with the Jets. You're a Giants fan.
I said since we rhyme with the Jets. That's why I said. Maybe
who cares? Get to the Jets later. So he's out. Now, Billy Epler, he said that, recovery time is estimated 8 to 9 months. He said some people have recovered in 6. I have to ask the question that I think everyone is wondering now. Do we think he really is going to be, and I hope he is, Do we think Diaz will be the same player after this injury?
Oh man.
Here's the thing. I will give Edwin Diaz the benefit of the doubt that he can come back the same player. I know that it sounds bad, it looked bad, everything's bad about it. It's doomsday in Mets fan circles right now. But I'm looking across sports, right? Injuries that you would consider like career-ending or at least career-altering, you've seen guys come back from. Here, right in New York, Kevin Durant, torn Achilles with Golden State. Everyone's like, Achilles is the one thing. Dominique Wilkins had it back in the day. You can't come back from that. You always come back a lesser player. Kevin Durant came back a better player. So there's that. There's one. There's Klay Thompson as well. ACL and Achilles. Came back and might be a better player now. You can go across sports and look at the same thing. Alex Smith came back with a
destroyed leg.
Destroyed leg.
I don't know if he was the same though. Like he wasn't able to move much.
The fact that he came back though was a blessing in and of itself.
He almost died from it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a bad example, but we see now with modern medicine, modern surgery in 2023, this type of injury wasn't or would not be the same as it would be in 1991 or something like that. I have faith that. Obviously, as a Mets fan, you hope he comes back the same player.
Yeah.
Even looking at it from an objective standpoint, I really do believe that he comes back a better player. Now, if it was a situation where he had a torn ligament in his elbow or tore up his shoulder, it's completely different. We'd be asking a completely different question because we know it'd probably be over for him. There's no 103 miles per hour. There's no wicked slider. There's no none of that.
Yeah.
But it's a leg injury. Those take its toll, obviously, the rehab and the mental toll of it all. But, I mean, I got faith. I got faith in what we've seen in recent memories that guys have come back from pretty brutal injuries and come back as good, if not better. So, we'll see.
Well, we're hoping so. But, so what do we think about... I don't even know whose call it is because I went on a rant or two last night and even today, earlier. But, whose call is it on whether someone should be pulled out of the tournament or not? Is it the players? Is it Billy Epler? Is it Buck Showalter? Because I've heard like a million answers to this question.
Well, what do you mean in terms of if a guy's playing too many games or too many innings? Or
no, like if someone like has to like leave the tournament, like
leave the tournament.
Are we allowed? Is like Billy Epler allowed to go to Pete Alonso say you're not playing anymore, you're coming home, and we're benching you for the rest of spring training?
I mean, that's a conversation I think you need to have with Mark DeRosa, the manager.
Yeah,
I think that these players, no matter what you want to say, whether you like the World Baseball Classic, love it, like it, hate it, guys want to represent for their country. It's a very important thing to them. Now, it's a tricky subject, I'll admit that, because they don't get paid by... The USA doesn't pay their players the amount of money that the New York Mets would for Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, those guys. Francisco Lindor for...
Also, that happens to anyone else, I'm going to snap, Josh. I'm going to lose it.
So the anxiety for the rest of this tournament is going to be up there, especially with Mets fans. But, I mean, Billy Epler can try all he wants, but I think guys, even with this, because I think guys acknowledge it was kind of a freak injury, guys are going to want to represent their country. Like, it matters to them. You can see the excitement and the passion on the field. Not just on the field for the players, but in the stands. It was an incredible... It's been multiple incredible scenes we've seen with the World Baseball Classic over the past week, especially. So, I mean, to answer your question, maybe, if he's
but
really
don't expect it.
Nah, because guys want to... They acknowledge it was a freak accident. Now, if Edwin Diaz, like I said, got hurt throwing a pitch, it'd be different. But he got hurt celebrating in a similar fashion, actually. Now, it wasn't mobbing, like you said, but the combined no-hitter for the Mets in April or May last year. Guys were hopping around. They were around Edwin Diaz. Like, I don't know. I think guys would acknowledge that it was a freak accident and be like, okay, we still want to keep playing. None of us got hurt doing any real baseball activity. So Billy Epler can try all he wants. I don't know if he's going to succeed, though.
Yeah. I don't know what the Mets do from here. Like we said, we assume Robertson moves to closer. They have, like we said, they addressed their pitching depth over the offseason, which is good because you have several options now. But no matter what trade you can make, no matter who you get, you're not replacing, as you mentioned, Josh, probably the most electrifying player in all of baseball, unfortunately. So we'll see. Do we think anything needs to be changed now with the World Baseball Classic in terms of the players allowed in it? I know it kind of relates back to the last question. Or do we think the rule should stay the same? Because I'm interested between the two of you, what you guys think.
This is the same conversation, obviously, me as a basketball junkie, that people have about the NBA and the Olympics every 4 years. A lot of fans don't like their favorite players playing in the Olympics. I've heard people say, our backup players can or our second tier USA team would have just as much success. We don't need to send.
That's crazy.
People say that, but I know Kevin Durant. They say LeBron James. We don't need to send those guys over there because our B team guys. But it's not that simple.
Some of those world teams are pretty bad, but like it's not a cakewalk for every team out there.
Think about Spain's a basketball superpower, and you compare that to this conversation. The only thing I would say in the major difference between NBA and the Olympics and Major League Baseball and the World Baseball Classic, the Olympics usually takes place. I know with COVID it was weird the last Olympics we had. There was a lot of things going on, but usually, almost always, it takes place after the NBA season concludes.
Yeah.
After. This World Baseball Classic takes place before the baseball season, right before, the month before.
Timing. I don't know what. When I heard out that, and I even heard that it was going on right now, I was like, wait, when is it going on? Like, why?
My friend brought up a good point though about the timing. They're really. You could do it right before, and you could risk something like this, or you could do it after a 162 game season plus playoffs, and then every player is shot in November, and it really might not be as great, but at the same time,
I still think it's a better scenario than doing
probably because then you have the entire offseason to rehab from an injury like this. You'd obviously still not have Diaz maybe the first 2 months of the season, but
you're gonna have
compared to
Diaz.
missing him,
8 months.
Yeah. So now we're down our closer that we just opened the vault to, and rightfully we should have, but just the unfortunate timing of it all. Yeah, God hates the Mets. God hates the Mets.
There was some bad foreshadowing here too, because you said Braden D'Aniello.
He didn't go.
He didn't go, and he was saying like the most important thing for me is a World Series.
Oh
now,
no.
Captain.
See,
Captain.
Yes,
he jinxed it hard.
Captain.
Listen, he's one of those guys, and I saw that comment 4 days ago, and I was like, Number one, I was just thinking, like, how do Alonso and McNeil and obviously Francisco Lindor and Edwin Diaz, obviously, all those guys that went over to play.
That's kind of some light shade, I'm not going to lie.
It's Brandon Nemo. He's always been he moves to the beat of his own drum, let's say that. Okay. He runs to first base on walks, so that's what he does. He's
that one guy at gym class who just played too much ball. He's sweating for the next period.
He sets himself different from the pack in a lot of ways. But now you think about his comments, and it's whether you agree or disagree, it's a sick twist and a foreshadowing for this team. Because he was saying, I just want to win a World Series, and maybe if everyone had that mentality, I'm not saying it's right because, like I said, people want to represent for their country. They want to put on for their country, but if everyone had that mindset, maybe Edwin Diaz would still be healthy. You don't know though, because it was such a freak injury. It could have happened literally anywhere.
Strange.
He could have slept on it.
He could have been at home celebrating.
Exactly.
Knocked into his aunt or his mom or anything like that.
And you know how weird baseball injuries are.
Yeah.
People get some of the baseball injuries you hear about. Slipped on his kitchen floor, out 6 weeks.
Was on his ranch and got hit by a boar, or fell off his horse or something. Like, what else?
They made the bases bigger because guys were twisting their ankles running over it. Or twisting their ankle on somebody else's ankle.
I'll never forget that phone call. How do you feel about the bases being 3 inches bigger? Oh my
Maybe he was onto something. Because like I say, this could happen, something like this, a patella tendon injury, a torn Achilles ACL, those could pop at any time. So it's tough. I know we want to blame the World Baseball Classic, and that's always been the conversation. It's not just, well, there's some selective outrage, but this conversation's been going on.
A lot, I think.
Yeah, but this
Everyone
conversation...
woke up so mad and sad today.
Can you only imagine how I woke up, Antonio?
I had to see Justin this morning for the morning show. He's like, I'm going to kill somebody. I'm like, all right, Justin.
Yeah, I'm with him.
Yeah.
I'm with him.
Yeah.
You understand all the... I can't curse on air, but you get where I'm going. All the stuff we've had to been through.
Yep.
In the last...
And why had to be Diaz, though? Like,
because that's how it's supposed to be, because there's no one else...
We just want to see him play. Like, we're so
okay,
happy
if it
for
wasn't Diaz, who would it be? It would be another one of our top premium players. It would be McNeil, it'd be Lindor, and it'd be Alonso. And now opening day can't arrive soon enough, because then finally this is going to be over, and at least... We're not even at opening day yet. Jose Quintana's out for 6 months.
Yep,
not 6 months, 3 months.
That's the one injury we haven't even talked about. And
3 months.
By the way,
yeah.
Bryce Montes de Oca.
He's hurt too, right?
I love that guy. He's gonna miss the start of the season now.
Oh my God.
So it's just blow after blow after blow right now for the New York Mets. I don't know what's going on, but
this is nothing. This is nothing. You want to know why this is nothing new? The Mets always had injury troubles, and it got defected to the Yankees one season last year. This is right back to...
By the way, the Yankees going to have struggles again. We can get to that in a little bit. But
yeah, well, I'd rather yell about the Mets because, they make my life miserable.
It's just... Obviously, we're getting to all the stuff that sucks about it, but I always say, at least they put together the pitching depth. because this team, if they didn't do what they did this offseason, because they have
bullpen
guys
will be screwed.
Exactly. The bullpen, and not just that, with Quintana going down, the starting rotation. Tyler McGill, David Peterson were your 6th and 7th starters maybe.
Yeah.
Now you have that depth, they jump right into a Quintana injury, or say one of the older guys, Verlander, Scherzer gets hurt.
Please no.
I know Senga's having, he's working his way back from whatever he was dealing with.
So finger injury, I think, or something like that.
So you're thankful for the pitching depth, but if enough guys get hurt, then you don't have depth no more. That's the tough thing about it. So the Mets can weather the storm. I still think they will. They have a fantastic team still. This is a very bad blow, but as far as how their team's going to perform without Edwin Diaz, they definitely... Here's my thing. Because like we talked about, you have guys in this bullpen, i.e. David Robertson, that's closed before. So he has experience. That's why I'm comfortable saying you start the season with Robertson closing. He did a pretty good job when he was in Philly last year, taking that team all the way to the World Series. So there's that. But David Robertson is obviously no Edwin Diaz.
No one's Edwin Diaz.
So if Robertson starts messing up, then you really got to look to, okay, what guys can we trade for? Because it was going to be hard for the Mets, and I know they spent all the money, and the whole narrative around Steve Cohen is, they're trying to buy a championship. The Mets are trying to buy a championship. The Dodgers do it all the damn
time. Shut up. You're a moron if you say that.
People just love to single out the Mets. And by the way, the Padres are spending more money than us and getting no slander. So, that's another thing. But
people just be... I don't want to say it, but like
they be bouncing on the New York Mets.
They be munching with the Padres sometimes, man.
It's just
they're always munching on the Padres because they want them to take down the Dodgers, probably. But
the Padres sort of just gotten out of hand because it was the Mets. If it was the Mets giving 2 shortstops 11-year deals to play them out of position, we would be getting, what are the Mets doing? They're just blindly spending money.
God forbid Lindor even stepped within range of a PED or something. God forbid.
Man, listen.
I don't even know.
People just love the pogo stick on the Mets.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
See if the caller wants to yell about the Mets with us. So we do have a caller on WHPC Sports Talk. Caller, you're on the air. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Ross. How you doing?
I've been better, Ross.
Ross!
I've been a lot better.
You're alive. I love to hear it.
You're alive. I won't be soon.
I can close for the Mets. I can do it.
Honestly, at this point, Ross.
You know what, Ross is the good luck charm. We talked about it yesterday. Ross is the good luck charm. You need to be at every game because you win every game they're at. You're costing us championships. I told you that yesterday.
If I listen, David Robinson be the closer. If I could make Robinson be a good closer, then I made Tyler McGill have a combined no hitter. So I mean, I don't know. If I could see a combined no hitter, I could see Robinson be a good closer.
I think he'll be a good closer anyway. I just think everyone's so bummed out at the fact that we lost the best closer in baseball. I don't think, I'm with Josh. I think Robertson is a very good arm. It's why they brought him on board. It's why they paid him $10 million. But just everyone is so bummed out from Diaz that any name you mention right now, Ross, is not good enough to Met fans because of what they lost. That's the issue.
And also, Robertson's not a guy he's been mostly a setup guy. He's not really... Well, he was not asked to be a closer on this team outside of maybe spelling Diaz here and there.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, he did do it last year, but traditionally, since he left the Yankees, he's been a setup middle reliever guy. So it's tough for him, and that's the thing that sucks about this injury too. Because we can talk about how the Mets are going to plug this hole on the field, but you can't replace just the emotion. The emotional attachment to Edwin Diaz that Mets fans now lose because of the trumpets when he runs in, the 103 miles per hour. He's charismatic. He's energetic. You just lost all of that. That's a big piece in this clubhouse, too.
It is. I think you're going to see them I think they need Zach Britton. I hate to say it, but I
agree.
That's the guy. I agree. I mean, I don't think he's that. Listen, I don't think he's the same pitcher, but he was really good with Buck Showalter in Baltimore. That's the guy, I think.
We'll see. It's going to be just when you think the offseason was coming to an end, regular season was coming into view, we have something like this happen, which really should be nothing new to Met fans, but they always find a way. They always do.
Good. Here's the advice. If it's a 1-run lead, 9th inning, you go home.
Nah, well,
I'm sorry.
I actually can't hate on you for saying that today.
Hang slider, home run. I hate saying it, but it's going to happen.
Hopefully not, but you very well could be right. I don't know.
No. All
right, thank you for the call, Ross. We appreciate it.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Bye.
Man, that was so sad.
Yeah, well, I mean, Me and Ross probably the two most miserable people here, and it's because we both watch the Mets. I don't know.
I mean, some would say y'all keep it real.
Because that's like you guys think that like I enjoy being miserable about this stuff, but I'm just a realist. I hate to say it.
You did. I'm not gonna lie.
I called the Mets choking last season. You called me a pessimistic bitch, essentially, but I was right.
I mean, my guy Kane just got to the Rangers, and you were going off on him like.
Well, he's actually stepped up. He's actually stepped up. Yeah. Well.
It was always
I don't even want to say anything because I'm going to speak something into existence, like the Rangers potentially choking or something, and I don't want to do that.
Right.
I really don't.
The Rangers are our last hope.
Yeah. But according to Stephen A., they don't count, so they really don't.
No,
well,
Stephen A. really said that?
Yeah,
he really said, Josh, you want to explain to Antonio?
Yeah, so my guy, Michael K., was on First Take.
Oh, my God, Michael K.
And they were talking about who's going to be the next New York team to win a championship. Obviously, Yankees, Mets, Knicks, Nets.
Now, keep in mind before he tells you this, ESPN has a deal with the NHL. Go on.
Yeah, to broadcast their games. New deal a couple years ago. So ESPN's really trying to embrace this hockey thing, right? So Michael K. answers the Rangers, and Stephen A. goes, man, that don't count. That don't count. It don't count.
He really just wanted him to say the Knicks, didn't he?
No, because Stephen A. is a fake Knicks fan. Nah.
Damn.
Who is he a fan of, you think?
Stephen A.'s I don't know. He's
just there.
He's loyal to his own cause. He's a fan of himself.
He's a big hater of a lot of teams. I don't know about lover though of any of them.
Bro, if Michael K. would have said the Knicks, he would have been like, but they didn't get Donovan Mitchell.
He would have went all the way back to that Donovan Mitchell thing. You're right.
The Knicks could win a championship and he'd be like, Donovan Mitchell's not here though. We're Donovan Mitchell.
There's Donovan Mitchell.
What are you doing? Stephen A. Smith he's a fan of himself. He just loves himself so much.
He's a bum. It's kind of like Skip. I'm surprised Skip Bayless didn't have anything to say about last night. Honestly,
Skip Bayless watching Edwin Diaz rolling around the field. Damn, the Mets. I really think they should go out and trade for a closer.
How does this affect the Mets' chance? How does this affect the Puerto Rico's chance of winning the World Baseball Classic?
I'm surprised you didn't say something questionable like when that thing happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. DeMar Hamlin.
Yep.
Which Nico H is probably still convinced is.
I'm not apologizing. I'm not
apologizing.
Nico really believes that man is a clone.
Yeah, he does.
Yo, nah. See, there's not many things.
Why do people still think that? That was so weird.
There's not many statements that can get me like upset.
What was his what was his reasoning behind it again?
Because he had like the ski mask on or something in the Super Bowl.
And it was snowing when they showed him on camera in that Bills playoff game.
And then he
in the heated booth.
Yep. He's onto the memes too. Like he puts on his own Instagram like his clone memes.
Yeah.
He's playing games out here with these people.
If that's a clone, that's actually kind of scary. That'd be a pretty good clone.
Yeah.
That's photocopy.
No, it's literally that's what they're doing in Area 51. They're making clones of people.
Can you 3D print people?
I don't know.
That's like way too big of a printer. No way.
Well, let's 3D print Nico. See where that goes.
Oh man,
where is that man?
We don't need two of that, man.
Where's Mauricio?
Mauricio's AWOL.
Well, Mauricio said
it's either me. It's either Mauricio's here and I'm not, or I'm here and Mauricio's not lately.
Y'all
always Josh and
y'all
I,
dodging each other.
I'm not dodging anyone.
I'll see Eric in a minute too, bro. What the hell going on?
Well, Eric doesn't usually do Thursdays. Our normal Thursday crew has been short-staffed the last couple of days, though. I don't know why.
Well, that's every day. I think it's the spring break getting to people.
Yeah. How's everyone's spring break going?
Mine's,
Mine was great until like today or like last night, I guess you could say.
Yeah, exactly. Mine was going great until,
Yeah. So
my favorite player in baseball went down with an injury, so it is what it is.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I'm calling most of those Knicks games correctly.
I was battling Leash on Twitter last night. I'm grateful I didn't, but...
I missed out on the bracket though. I had no idea that started today. I woke up trying to join a bracket.
No, the marketing for it has been kind of trash this year.
Really?
You don't really hear many people talking about it.
Yeah, I need to check all the picks I made for today. I've been big into betting on this new app.
There's a team named Drake. I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
What?
Where is it?
Drizzy. Nah, if you pick Virginia, you're already cooked.
Genius.
You already cooked.
It's over. It's over.
Bracket busted.
We do have another caller, though, on WHPC Sports Talk. Caller, you on the air? Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Who am I? My name's Dave, and I'm calling you from 80 degree North Las Vegas. How's that?
Well,
how you doing, Dave?
It's pretty good over here today. So,
if it softens the blow any with the WBC, that money is guaranteed. Not guaranteed, but the Mets don't lose the money. All players that play in there have to be insured by a New York company called NFP, and they would be picking up the contract, or I should say the money related to his salary.
Yo, you are an encyclopedia, bro. That's good stuff. That's good though.
Well, there's only one player that wasn't allowed, and that was Clayton Kershaw. The insurance company said, they weren't going to, back a player with a long history as far as chronic injuries and stuff like that. The only other player that was in that same category was Cabrera with Detroit. But being a DH in Detroit really having no chance of winning this year, they basically waived it and said, if something happens to Cabrera during he plays for Venezuela, if anything happens to him, we'll pick up his dime.
Wow. Very insightful.
That's
really. I really don't know anything about sports. The more you think about it, I really don't know anything.
Well, it makes sense though. It makes sense because obviously, if you're insuring or if you're investing all that money into a player like an Edwin Diaz, it would make sense for there to be some kind of insurance on it. You can't just have guys like, say, you have a dog and you just let him run in traffic.
Okay, Jesus. Well, that's one way to put it.
I'll ask you a general baseball question.
Sure, Dave.
With these 6 divisions in baseball, if you were to pick one, if you were to predict who's going to win the World Series of the 6 divisions, which division will have that winner amongst itself? My point being is, if you pick the American League East, it would either be Toronto. Well, Toronto's a heavy favorite right now, or the Yankees. And if you pick the National League West, it would be obviously the Padres or the Dodgers. And now with the Mets, who knows what's going to. Well, again, they still play in a very good division. But which division do you think will support the winner of the World Series?
See, the popular pick would be obviously the NL West, with the Dodgers obviously out there and the Padres with the way they're spending money. But I'm gonna come with a little sleeper. I think that. I think the AL West.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing because I got even with I don't think Texas will be that good.
Now then,
but if they sneak in maybe. But DeGrom won't pitch. It's okay.
Yeah, DeGrom's time is coming. DeGrom's time. You want to talk about Edwin Diaz injury? I hate to say it, but DeGrom's time is coming.
Yeah, only matter of time. Unless he traded, he put the hex on the Mets when he left. But Houston's there. I like Seattle a lot. The Angels won't do anything. We know that. But yeah, I'll take Shohei Ohtani off your hands in a year. Don't worry.
Hopefully he's a Met by July.
And hopefully he doesn't suffer a season-ending injury in spring training. Texas, I don't really see much. Why am I forgetting the last team in this division?
Astros.
Astros, I think we already mentioned, right?
You are missing somebody. Dave, don't tell us. Don't tell us.
He's probably like, look at these idiots.
Astros, Mariners.
Why Rangers, are we blank at this? We should know this.
Nah, hold up. I got it. That's crazy. I don't know off the top of my head.
It's slipping my mind. It's got to be like some forgettable-ass team, right?
Gotta be. All right, Dave, spell it. You know?
No, you're coming in a little broken up, so I didn't catch the gist of what you were saying. You can throw it at me again if you want.
We're settled on 4 AL West teams. We're missing the other one. We got the Astros, Mariners, Angels, and the Rangers. Who's this other team?
Sacramento Bees.
Sacramento Bees.
Dave.
No. Funny. Why did none of us know this?
Hold up.
This is bad.
I definitely don't know.
Not even spring training.
Oh, it is a forgettable team. Oakland.
Oh, come on.
Nobody.
I could buy Oakland. I could buy the A's. I spend more money at Citi Field than the A's do on their roster.
Oh, man.
You know, when I pull up, they have good merch, like Antonio said.
Yeah,
when I pull up
nice
in the
colors.
summer with the A's hat, the green, and then the Kelly green.
That's too clean.
Yeah, then you go to the bathroom and there's sewage issues and all that. God,
they need a new stadium.
They need to move, bro. No one shows up to the games out there.
It's bad.
No, they're coming to Vegas, too.
Yeah, honestly.
Eventually.
Yep.
Vegas is the home for all the old Oakland teams, except Golden State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, I'll let you go. Can I throw my Super Bowl prediction at you?
Sure.
I believe, Mr. Donald will lead the 49ers against Miami and Mike White.
That would just be the Jets. I would cry.
Davey,
I would go to Shea Bridge. I really would. I'd be done. That would just be so fitting. I can't even.
I figured I'd make you laugh.
The Darnold-led 49ers, huh?
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
He's going to speak it into existence.
It would be funny for Jets fans, though. That would be...
It'd be miserable for us.
It makes sense.
He's going to win the comeback player of the year. Mark my words.
He's going to beat our
Could be. Maybe.
And Brock Purdy.
Thank you for the call, Dave. We appreciate it.
Have a good one. Bye.
You too. Nah, if I'd lose it. If Darnold and Mike White face off in the Super Bowl, I'd stop watching football.
I can't believe that.
I think I'd stop watching.
A Buccaneer, the successor of Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield. Who else?
Chicken bake.
Shake and bake.
Well, at least Mike White going to Miami means that they don't get Tom Brady, right?
Right.
That's what we think. Yeah, he's going to come back out of retirement since I said that.
He's so bored already.
He probably is. Well, no, he's taking care of his, baby kitten or whatever?
Yo, he's
what?
Yeah, I was about to say that because he's mad fake, too. Like, Tom, yeah. Oh, don't talk about me coming back and unretiring. I have my little kitten. I'm not going to leave you. Like, nobody believes you. Mad. He's mad.
You left your wife, who is a 5 out of 5. Like, please. You'll leave the baby kitten.
Interesting rating. All the way up to 5. Why not 10?
No, he said 5 out of 5.
Yeah, but like, why isn't it 10 out of 10?
All right, 10 out of 10.
It's the star rating.
You just have to do this, don't you?
My bad. I was just
You
so
really
confused, I was
unbelievable. You got something to say to me? This is like when I'm catching all the stray bullets now.
I'm ready for the next one.
DeGrom is putting the hex on the Mets. Josh is putting his hex on me. This is a joke. It's ridiculous.
I didn't do nothing.
But a good time to remind everyone you're listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Braden D'Aniello joined by Josh Umahi and Antonio Gonzalez. Nico Each and Mauricio Mendoza are not here. Nico's probably enjoying some nice Italian cuisine right about now.
That sounds yummy.
What do you say, Italian, Puerto Rican?
Something like that. I don't even know.
That's what's up.
Well, the Mets are miserable, but you know who isn't miserable, Josh?
Who ain't miserable?
Bing bong. Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong, Josh
F your
Umahi.
life.
Let's go.
Your life. The Knicks started a pretty bad to their road trip, but they finished strong. Won the last two.
I mean, look at the Kings right now, though. The Kings are no joke, man.
They are. They're doing really good.
The Aaron Fox game winner yesterday.
You know,
Absolutely insane.
They better win tonight because I took Kings money line against the Nets.
You
So
degenerate. All right, we'll see what happens.
Well, yeah, it's a little. I believe in the bet. Then. Nah, that's a good bet. That's a good bet. No, I co-sign that. I co-sign it.
He's taking it back.
They were the plus. I wanted to win a lot of money. You bitch.
Oh, they were the plus against the Nets?
Yeah, apparently so.
Oh yeah, I'm going to FanDuel right now.
Down.
What you mean?
So back to the Knicks. 41-30 now in the season. Head home to face the Denver Nuggets Saturday. Denver's lost 4 straight. They'll look to snap that skid tonight against Detroit. Knicks still the 5th seed. Well, they should snap the skid. I would think they would. But I'm not going to bet because then I'll jinx them. Knicks still the 5th seed. What are we thinking after this 4-game road trip, guys?
Whew, man, I tell you. It started with that loss at home against Charlotte. And Tom Thibodeau said something funny in the post-game after the Portland game. They had a difficult stretch that obviously started in Miami. So they had, here's a schedule, and obviously we know how it went down in hindsight. But beforehand, they were looking at Miami, at Boston, come home from a random game for the Hornets, and then this 4-game road trip, and then Denver coming back home. That's a difficult stretch. So it starts out, they lose that trap game to the Hornets after winning the first 2 games on the road. That great win in Boston, we've talked about it all last week. And then you lose to Sacramento. Obviously, that's a tough loss, but that's a great team, like Antonio just said. You lose to the Clippers and Julius Randle bully shambles that night because he was.
Yo, what happened to that? Bro?
It's
like
the Monstars pulled up
immediately just for the one night.
Shot 5 of 24, and then I'm like, oh, because what scared me about that was not just a bad shooting performance because everyone has an off night. It was the worst shooting night of his career, number 1, and number 2
in his whole career. What? Why? What?
And what happened after it was a scary scene because it was, well, not scary.
Turned it right back around.
It was him fighting with coaches, yelling at players on the sideline, Tibbs having to hold them back from other coaches and video coordinators.
He got mad again. Oh.
Yeah, he was acting
doing that.
He was acting neurotic again, and I was getting worried because we saw that all last year, and he just spiraled out of control.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh, we got the Lakers coming up.
Yep.
I don't know what's going to happen. Anthony Davis is playing. I know LeBron's out, but that's a tough game. And Stephonius Carrandall showed up, put up 33 points. RJ Barrett chipped in 4th quarter, really dominant. That changed everything because then you go to Portland, start the game off slow, but you have enough confidence now. Get that win, come back home. 2-2 road trip. I am running with that. Coming back home to Denver, happy as hell. And we get Jalen Brunson back Saturday too.
I'm counting about this Denver game. I really am.
Winning those 2 games without Jalen Brunson, that was huge. Because if they lose that game against the Lakers, then you have to rush them back against Portland because you're trying to stop the bleeding. And if you lose that game, then it's doomsday.
Yeah, it's over.
So
I know it's more shocking that Julius Randle came back immediately from a rough night, or RJ Barrett showed up also. Like,
well, RJ Barrett's had a nice that's the fun thing about the last 2 games too, because R.J. Barrett in Jalen Brunson's absence, and we talk about him being the third option, this, third option, that, but as the second option, you got to give R.J. Barrett credit. He stepped up. He stepped up when the pressure was on him.
Mm-hmm.
He stepped up.
I didn't think he would.
Hey, he was complaining, or there are reports that he's complaining. The third option is it's tough. It's a tough job. I'm not getting enough shots. My usage, I'm not used to what it was from last year. But he stepped up. He got his opportunity. He stepped up. That's what I want as a New York sports fan out of everybody in the city, especially one that's been criticized like R.J. Barrett and the Ben Simmons and the Garrett Coles of the world. Like, I want you when the pressure's on. Forget what everyone's saying. Lock in. You get an opportunity. Step up. R.J. Barrett did, so I got nothing to say about him.
You look at the upcoming schedule, guys. What do we think? What do we think about the upcoming schedule? I know you got Denver Saturday. I'm not really a Knicks enthusiast, but who do we got coming up?
Well, we have Denver on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Knicks always interesting when it's a Saturday or Sunday matinee game. Then they host the Timberwolves. Tough game. Anthony Edwards is always a load to deal with, and then
especially on Twitter.
and then you go short Florida road trip, the Heat and the Magic. So I'm expecting with this Knicks team 3-1. Go 3-1. You can lose to Denver, win the next 3. You can lose a home game. Actually, no. I take that back. I actually take that back because the Knicks have lost enough home games this year. That game against Charlotte, that can't happen. I know it was a trap game scenario, but that can't happen. You're 19-16 at home. I know it's a winning record and it's better than where you were at the start of the year, but they got 4 home games in the next 6 coming up. I need this team to win all 4. Lock in. If you want that 4th seed, you want to catch up to Cleveland, you got to start winning some home games. And if you get that series versus Cleveland and you have home court advantage, I don't want to see Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland coming in game 1 like Trae Young did 2 years ago and take the home court advantage back. This Knicks team, we know what they are. They're a tough playing team. All the pieces fit. They have Josh Hart now, great playmaker off the bench. And, yeah, all the pieces fit. Tough-nosed defense. They're going to be efficient on offense. What I want to see is them protecting their home court. Because it's different when guys are coming into Madison Square Garden like, I only care about putting up 50, 60 points.
It's really exciting that Boston playoff game is coming up sooner and sooner. Like, it may be possible. It's looking more and more possible to let us play the Boston in the first round.
Yeah.
And that could be a great way to start the playoffs, honestly.
The East is a lot of shuffling still to happen. So we can get the Celtics, we can get the Sixers, we can get the Cavs, I think we're not going to get the Bucks, I don't think.
No.
But
I hope not.
I mean, regardless, the Knicks have played well against Cleveland. They've played well against the Celtics, obviously 3 wins in 4 games this season already.
Wonderful, beautiful.
They've played well against the Sixers. So with this team, all I care about, we know what they are. Other teams coming into the Garden know what they are. Start protecting the Garden floor. I want the pride that the 90s Knicks had. If you want to be that team, Tom Thibodeau, I know you were assistant on that team, start protecting your home court. You better tell your players to lock in and be like...
And I don't want to see Spike Lee anywhere.
I don't
want to see him anywhere, yo.
I could care less.
Is he still back at the Garden, or did he never return after that incident?
He's back, but you expect that.
Yeah.
He better
whatever happened, that whole thing, who did he get into a fight with again?
James Dolan.
And what was it over, like not going in like his entrance or something?
Yeah, so Spike Lee is he's an entitled fan. I don't mean that as a negative. But when you think Knicks fans, you think Spike Lee.
Yeah.
So he had a little fight with James Dolan and security, like, oh, this is my entrance. Security was like, nah, I don't know you. Spike Lee
what?
Who? Spike Lee who? And that's where that whole thing started. And then obviously Spike Lee, I remember this like it was yesterday, came on First Take with Stephen A.
Stephen A.
And the Muncher Max Kellerman, the Nick Muncher Max Kellerman. They were just talking about, the Knicks are such a joke. Oh, they're disrespecting Spike Lee. They're disrespecting Charles Oakley.
What?
Like if you're a Knicks fan,
I think I was in the Garden for that Charles Oakley game.
My God.
Were you?
Yeah, I didn't even know what the hell was going on. It was my first Knicks game. My brother was the ball boy. And I was just sitting there like, what in the hell is going on down there? I was like, I didn't even know who Charles Oakley was at the time. That's how like unknown I was to basketball. I just see security, like 5 guys rushing someone out. I'm like,
that's a big dude.
Yeah.
It took 5 or 6 of them to haul his ass out of there. But
Charles Oakley. That was funny.
That's my entire problem with the Knicks being good now. And before anybody jumps on me like, oh, Joshua, you call him the mid. You were calling him the mid. You can't go back now. Hold on. I just call it like how I see it. If the team's playing like trash, I say they're playing like trash. If they're playing good, They're playing good. I'm not one of those fans that sees them playing bad and is like, oh man, the Knicks are a disgrace. James Dolan.
No, that's my job.
Yeah. But Nick, it is what it is. People can join the bandwagon now. We're running out of seats though. We're running out of seats
very quickly.
But Mitchell Robinson's jumping off, so maybe there's some more room on that bus now. There's some more room on the bandwagon. Mitchell Robinson, bro. I talked about it yesterday.
What'd he do?
He went on Snapchat after a win.
Why is he going on Snap as a grown man, yo?
Yeah, it's a red flaggy. Wave the red flag. It's very red flaggy. But
did he wave a gun around on Snapchat?
No, he didn't. That's John Moran's job.
And he only gets suspended, 8 games?
Yeah, but you do a nice little sit-down interview with Jalen Rose. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it wasn't my gun, but I would take full responsibility. Sound like a robot.
Yeah.
Extremely believable and genuine John Morant. But anyway, Mitchell Robinson didn't wave a gun, but he was basically saying, after a win, mind you, 2 straight great wins, he's like, I want more of an offensive role.
Why? How is that not his role by now? This man is not playing for offense.
Like I just said, Antonio, all the pieces fit on this team. So how is this man going to say, and I said this yesterday, like, we can see you, bro. We have eyes. All the games are televised. We can see you. We see you bricking free throws. We see you with no post moves.
We let it go.
We let it go.
It's okay.
That's your role. You just rebound and
we
you
don't
dunk.
want you to do that. We don't care.
And you block shots.
But now he's going to make it a big deal.
He does this every year. Like, when you going to learn? You have a $60 million contract. What is that? Snapchat?
What a crybaby, man.
He really making $60 million but bitching about his role on the team. I wish.
I wonder who swiped up and was like, really, bro? Really, now?
It just goes to show you. I hate to tell people's business on the radio, but...
Well, we do it anyways.
Yeah, so one of my friends knows this girl, and she's very like a socialite. So she's like second or third row at every not every game, but a lot of like sporting events. Yeah,
Drake.
Yeah, child's play. Shout out, but
should talk to him more. You can get front row seats for the Garden for the playoffs.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be like that.
No, do it.
Like maybe.
Embrace the hate.
But yeah. So apparently she used to talk to Mitchell Robinson.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's a little weird. That's the word.
Eyebrows,
That's the word I got from. He just be saying stuff.
Be different.
What kind of stuff?
I'm not gonna tell.
Is it worse than what Nico says sometimes?
Nico
says a lot of things.
Nico says things, but it's not like creepy.
Well, what he says is like meme wise. It's a story.
A little.
He said a few things. Nico just said a few
George
things.
one was way too much.
Wait, what?
you got asking for it. That one.
Yeah, fair enough. It's probably nothing good. Probably not appropriate for the air.
Insert Nico each meme here.
Let's wrap up basketball talk and then run through some football. Let's go to the Nets. So coming off a loss 121 to 107 to OKC. And Sacramento, as mentioned, has won 4 of the last 5. Latest against Chicago, final score is 117 to 114. And it's really just the Nets' young talent trying to basically Mikal Bridges at this point, just trying to carry this team, whatever's left of them, on his shoulders to the playoffs.
And Cam Thomas sometimes.
What do we think the Nets record is going to be in the next 5 games? We look at their upcoming schedule as of right now.
Oh, sorry, I heard a voice in the background. I got a little distracted.
Michael's out there. He's lurking.
He's lurking. 5-game stretch. They go 3-2.
Oh, really?
3-2, just like, okay.
Actually, no, I take that back. Look at the schedule. Let me pull it up.
It's a tough
quick.
one.
What is the schedule?
Let me get a load of this right now.
Fun.
They got the Kings tonight, like you said. The Nuggets, the Cavs twice.
Yeah, and the Heat, right?
And then the Heat. That's
oh boy.
Listen, I know it's a cute thing they have going on with their pieces are fitting a little good too. Now they bench Ben Simmons and everything else.
He's getting benched anywhere right now.
Yes, it's not.
He's on an expansion team probably.
Oh, get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. But
get ready to learn Chinese.
He's out of here.
I actually thought Adam Silver said that at first, and then I had to have someone explain.
That's a good one.
I had to have someone explain that it actually didn't happen. That was the greatest thing ever.
I love the Joe Rogan ones. Those ones always get me.
Whoever's sitting in their basement making those graphics, they're fooling a lot of people. I thought he said that too.
I was like, "There's no way Adam Silver actually said this," and then everyone started laughing at me because they. It was like, oh my god!
In his voice, get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. shout out, Slenderman Humpty Dumpty, my guy, commissioner of the NBA.
Honestly, I could see that. That honestly makes sense. Slenderman Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, they had a baby. It's Adam Silver.
What about the glass? Nah, I'm trying to think now who has those kind of glasses. This is the Penguin from like Batman.
He has some. Let me.
Honestly?
Yeah. Throw the question to Antonio. I'm going to do some research.
Who do you think is going to finish higher? I think I think we know since we're, I don't want to say pretty biased in the room, but it might also not be at this point. Knicks and Nets, who do we think finishes higher?
Knicks. I got to run strong on the Knicks right now, man.
I won't say anything because I don't want to jinx anyone.
Adam Silver be having the tinted glasses. I see you.
You like Daredevil.
Yeah.
Maybe he's been in the Toronto strip clubs.
He looked.
Those are the eyes of one.
Them glasses? he got the. Yo.
He's a very alien looking.
The girl doesn't give him the right lap dance. Get ready to learn Chinese.
So lanky and tall and probably like wrinkly.
Hey.
Why are you being so descriptive?
I just look at him. I'm just like, I don't know. I just get creeped out sometimes.
That's a long.
Antonio, what do you think about the Giants trading for Darren Waller?
Well, again, I spoke about that on Tuesday because I filled in. And
For me.
Listen, it's a great move. I'm not allowed to talk behalf of the Giants anymore, according to France. But I can't.
You did.
Yeah.
You did kind of just give up on them.
I'm big
like
Florida now.
A couple weeks
he's
ago.
on your ass.
He is.
I don't blame
in the
him.
mirror right now, like in the glass. But no, basically,
I don't blame him.
I can't
I don't
hate
even
this
see him.
move.
He might.
I'm just really confused. Again, France will have to worry about it and let Joe cook, and that's why I'm not in the kitchen. But again, like Darren Waller was another person that got re-signed for a good amount of money. It was either gonna be Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs, Derek Carr. We also what happened. It was Derek Carr, Darren Waller. Jacobs got the franchise tag, and I'm just confused again where the money's coming from. Great move. We thought that Giants couldn't get more offensive weapons for him because of this lack of money we have. And when we go ahead and get Darren Waller for a steal, by the way, a third pick, 100th pick overall, which basically is Kadarius Toney for Darren Waller. Can't go better than that. And then we gotta think about how we're trying to make other free agent moves, and we still are making free agent moves. I checked last. We got the linebacker, but it's just that like, what do we do with where do we go with this draft now? Because every mock draft has us picking wide receivers, like drafting them high, and like at this point, I think we have Darren Waller. Of course, we got a receiver, but drafting high wide receiver has never gone well for us, in my opinion. Besides OBJ, of course, and I'm just worried about this draft coming up now because I really don't know who else the Giants drafting. We haven't been the best drafters until recently, and every NFL draft always stressed me out being a Giants fan. We got DeAndre Baker, we had Eli Apple. I mean, we had some real stinkers, man. So I'm excited for this draft, but at the same time, I'm a little nervous. And I'm just happy that Darren Waller's on Giants. That's a pretty sick move. Didn't see that coming for whatsoever because, again, the Giants market, as much people like it, I really don't think free agents like that. I don't remember the last good big free agent New York had besides Le'Veon Bell. And on the
How'd
Giants,
that one go?
You had Leonard Williams, who's just okay in my opinion, pretty good. Le'Veon Bell, you tell me, Braden. Didn't go that great.
No, I didn't. I mean, you alluded to it, so
Not what you want.
definitely not.
So
at
again,
least CJ's still
I'm
here.
excited, but the last good time we had was Evan Ingram, who apparently was good, and we just couldn't do him right for some reason.
Yeah, he's in Duval now. If you want to head down there.
That's true.
So
Just hope he stays healthy.
can we talk about the Aaron Rodgers saga?
I'm so
I
tired
don't
of
even-
him playing with my emotions. Like,
I'm the Jets fan.
I just want it to be over, though. Like,
Why do you want it to be over? You should want me to be suffering right
now. I
now.
keep getting the alerts. I'm just like, can you just pick already? Like, it just makes me annoyed.
Nah,
by
he's
another
gonna go
grown
on
man.
another darkness retreat, isn't he? I'm waiting. It's gonna happen.
Turn out
I was
the
talking.
lights.
talking to someone at a diner. Shout out to Joe, the Jets fan, at the diner I work. Maybe regular now, but he asked if I was a Jets fan. Of course, I might have lied and said I was, but you know me, I got a great service always.
Huh.
And he was like, "How about the Aaron Rodgers thing, right?" And I was like, "Hey, you tell me," you know what I mean? And then we laughed about that. But he says that if they don't go Aaron Rodgers, then who do they see him getting, and that they have no choice.
Boy,
so he says that
nothing.
the Jets are going to send him the house. He was worried that the reason why the deal's not done is because the Jets have to give some first rounders or blah blah. Listen, I don't know what Joe, the Jet fan, knows, but this man says, a Jets fan, he's ready to give the Packers everything.
Oh.
And I want to know if you are too.
That's going to be the first
Is he giving it
mistake.
up like that?
He'd be giving up like that, Joe, the Jet fan. He said,
the Packers have said they're not willing to push the envelope with whatever the Jets are offering them.
but what
They
choice
said
do
to
they
be
have now?
Well,
They lost Baker. They lost Derek Carr.
nah, you know what the funniest
Jimmy G.
You know what the most Jets thing to be would be? If Baker wasn't in Tampa already, they miss out on Rodgers and they sign him. Honestly, that would be the most Jets thing to
Yeah,
happen.
watch out. Ryan Tannehill, future Jet. I'm telling you, he's going to look good in green.
Please,
He's going to look good in green.
God help me.
Same
I
division.
can't do it.
He's gonna get revenge
No.
back from the Dolphins.
Mike White would outduel him. And I love Mike White, but that would be kind of sad.
Listen, the Jets don't even have to give up anything, all at once for Aaron Rodgers.
But they will.
Because think about it. People argue now who has the more leverage between the Packers and the Jets. The popular take is that the Packers have more leverage because they have him under contract, but the Jets can just be like, he said he's going to be here. The whole world knows he's going to be there. We can just wait this out until OTAs. Aaron Rodgers don't even want to be at OTAs. It don't matter to him. It really doesn't. So he could just wait it out, and the Jets could be like, we're not giving you 2 first-round picks. You'll come back to us in June or July, and you might get 1 future first. That's it.
It's just cool to see
they
that.
Don't got to do it all right now.
In my opinion, I think Zach Wilson's probably happy if Aaron Rodgers comes to the Jets. You know, he's looked up to Aaron Rodgers.
Why, so he gets sleep with his mom?
Oh, damn.
It's going to happen. So he's going to make the quarterback's life a living hell. Well, it's not going to be on the football field, Zach, because you suck.
Nah.
You think that's why he looked up to A-Rod because of his mom? That's crazy.
Yeah, probably.
Aaron
Honestly.
Rodgers don't even like his mother, so it wouldn't even hurt him.
Honestly, it'd probably be cool bonding.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, that makes sense.
You're like, damn,
Wait, what?
Aaron, now I get why you hate your mom so much. I know, right? Is he the worst? Yeah.
Wait a minute. Oh, this sounds incredibly wrong. This sounds incredibly wrong. You know something that we don't?
No, I'm pretty soon we will, though. Pretty soon we will, yo.
He's got a lot of free time, Zach Wilson. What else would you be doing with your free
football?
time?
We're playing football, that's for sure.
He's definitely not playing football. Could go back to the XFL. He could take his ass there, though. That'd be great.
On Hinge.
Shout out to XFL, man.
Hinge 40+.
Josh, you want to run through the Rangers in a minute?
Sure. Yeah. Let's do it.
We're playing Pittsburgh tonight, Josh. What do we think?
Oh,
Rangers
man.
enthusiast.
Pat Kane goal. More goals. Please, PLS. Savannah Jack, keep doing what you're doing. I see you. Playmaker. Absolute playmaker. Everyone else, you know. Igor, be good in goal.
Be good in goal.
I believe in you, brother.
Hopefully. So,
The freaking Rangers.
Is Sidney Crosby still around?
Yeah, he's still around. Still,
We like Turk. We don't like Turk right now. Where we?
No, I will never like him.
Never like
Never.
Turk. What I said about Tibbs is what Josh said about Tibbs.
Turk is a drunk bitch. Okay,
Oof.
he is useless. They'd
Does
be
he
better
also
off.
look ugly or
You
just
could
Tibbs?
coach the team.
Me?
You could probably coach
Ain't
the
no
team.
way.
Yeah, you could. You could just say, you know what, guys, run it yourselves. That'd be better than what Turk does. Honestly. But
real quick before we close, I'm on Frank Fleming's Twitter.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Frank Fleming.
He's
How is he alive?
Nah, he ain't jump off the Shea Bridge. He's still kicking.
Not even that. He should have gone into a coma after last night. He really should have. I'm surprised he didn't.
His rage tweets are crazy.
I need to watch them. Like, they're entertaining. Like, I share his same, like, pain. Except when I get that angry, I don't have to worry about going to the hospital afterwards. That's the issue. But that's just me.
Sal Licata after last season, and since then he has been on What Fan.
Tell Sal to go shave his head again. Tell him and freaking Frank Fleming to go both jump off Shea Bridge.
Yo,
I can't.
Tomorrow's show, I just might read off Frank Fleming tweets from yesterday.
Honestly, that sounds like a plan, honestly. That would be great. I'd tune in. All the way from work, despite us getting, like, God knows how many orders.
I'll commit a segment to it, for sure. This is crazy.
Josh, what's next?
Profume d'Italia with Rita Monte. Keep it locked at 90.3 WHPC for 2 hours, baby.
Yes. Well, that'll do it for all this on this Thursday edition of WHPC Sports Talk. From Josh Umahi and Antonio Gonzalez, I'm your host, Braden D'Aniello. We'd like to thank you for listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.